still, because all we want to do is watch you. And so find your moments to move. But a lot of the times I'm watching you move around, and I just want to hear your words. Like, you guys are funny, and you're deep, and you're thoughtful, and you've got all this great energy. So keep that right here. You know what I mean? Find ways to make eye contact right here instead of bouncing all over the place, so that we can focus on how everything that you're saying and how cute it is.
And I would say, like, I think one of the things that we need to get back to as actors who have been doing it for a long time is like the kind of authenticity and transparency, like translucence that you guys have now. Like what you guys are writing and the way you're communicating, like energetically with your bodies, there's so much vulnerability and there's so much like, there's like a what is it called? You're so attentive to the truth of what you're experiencing, and your ability to translate that into words and then stand and kind of transmit that truth and authenticity of this feeling to us. I think that's kind of what you're saying.
How did you get pen here?
I don't know. Probably because I was like crying. But that capacity, it's magic, right? And actually, that's what everybody's looking for when we go to the movies or when we're watching TV. We're looking for the magic of seeing a human being transmit and translate their experience and their perspective to us, right? So that we can feel them. And I think that's kind of what you're saying. You have that. So then the more still you are, and not like standing still, but like the more you can kind of let go of the nervous tension that makes you want to kind of like distract people from seeing it, the more we're going to receive exactly what you already have. And for people who've been performing forever, like that's what we're trying to get back to. That we want to find that authenticity and that like translucence and let it be. So you guys are kicking ass.
Yeah, and you're right. It's not the note is not necessarily about bouncing around the stage. Is your internal stillness there? Because I think a lot of like stage fright comes from. I did a lot, like 10 years of stage performances, and I know a lot of the stage fright comes from maybe thinking that the audience doesn't want the best for you. The audience wants the best for you because they're watching you. They want to see the show. They came to watch you. So if you find that stillness of I'm supposed to be here and these people are here for me, you actually create this beautiful bond with them that really makes all that nervous energy dissipate. You guys have any questions?
Yeah. What made you become an actor?
I mean, the honest truth for me, the honest truth was like, I knew I wasn't going to be able to afford to go to college. And I had a friend who was acting, and I heard how much she was making. And I was like, well, then maybe I can save up for college. And so I kind of fell into it backwards. Like I was a kid when I started, and I just knew I could save up maybe for college. And then once I was on
and you happen to be really great at it.
And I found out I could do it. And so then I developed my own bit. But I was really nervous when I started. Honestly, I started on a kid show, kind of like Mr. Rocky. Okay. I was in Canada, and there was like a show just like that with puppets and stuff. I was so terrified. I don't know why I was there, honestly. But I was so terrified that I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, I wish I was the puppeteer under the counter because then I'd be hiding. But somehow I was able to do it, and then I guess I was pretty good at it, and it kept going. And then I developed like a love of it. And when I was like 15, someone was like, you know, this is like a job for grown-ups. And I was like, what? And so that's kind of how I felt into it.
I would say I was okay at everything. And but the thing that I was best at was like, I was always the funny one with my friends. And so then this like traveling comedy troupe came to my hometown in Ohio, and they did a workshop, and I was like, whoa. It was like so immediate. I like moved to Chicago right away, and I spent the next 10 years like traveling the country, and being in Chicago and going to Amsterdam, like I've done comedy everywhere, and it really was just like everything clicked into place. Like I thought you had to go to school to like be a doctor or be any of these things, and when I realized that you could go to school to do comedy, well, it did work out. Okay, it worked out, and I'm really relieved about it because I wasn't that great at anything else. Anybody else?
Oh, I got one more.
Yeah.
Right. How do you act while, like, you got other stuff, like, freshman, you know, like, outside problems?
I mean, it straight up, it can be really hard, but there is also something, the things, a lot of the things that happen to you that don't feel positive now become gifts for you later on. A lot of the things that are happening to you right now that suck, they build your ability to love and to empathize with others. They build your range of emotions. They build this depth inside of you that you get to pull from when you're not feeling your best or you're feeling kind of flat. Or they give you the joy that you need to be there for other people when they're feeling flat and they can't dig. So all the things that really suck, I promise, they become the things that you are really innately grateful for.
And I would say for me, one of the things that was a gift in my life was that I think I sometimes found myself in situations where I felt like I had to be okay and like, you know, like present like I'm really okay. But there was stuff that maybe I was feeling that I wasn't able to feel in my regular life. And so then when I had a scene to do, or when I had like a monologue or dialogue or something where there was this like emotion, or the character was experiencing something that maybe wasn't exactly the same as what I went through, but felt almost like, if you think of like music, like the same notes, or like color, like the same colors as those feelings, but maybe not the same situation. I felt like it was a place where I could let those colors and those notes and those feelings come out, where I felt not embarrassed about it. I felt like safe, like this is someone else, this isn't me. So I'm not so self-conscious, and I know people want these emotions. It's not a burden, so I can really kind of be free here to let everything out and to like, I don't know, like play the music of my emotions without feeling too vulnerable in my real life.
Catharsis.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you give that to them too. Then they're grateful because like you gave them permission through the character and the story to feel those feelings that maybe they don't think that they can feel in their real life, but they can feel it for this character. And so it becomes this really beautiful exchange.
And that's how we felt watching you. Like, man, I like felt that anger. That made a lot of sense to me. Like, we were watching that piece that made us both cry. I don't know where she is. Yeah. And then some of you guys are so funny. Some of you guys are just so like confident and powerful. And geez, some of you made eye contact with me when I was like, it wasn't that I was feeling those emotions before you guys showed them to me. You gave me those emotions through your performance. That's a gift.
And the words, I mean, the writing in this room is incredible. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We work with like, you know, people who are professional writers in Hollywood all the time. And like what you're producing in your writing, I mean, the metaphors and the images and the way you kind of would take something and then emotionally turn it into something else where you're like, oh my God, I didn't expect that to happen, and then it kind of hits you in the gut. Like it was intense.
You guys did a great job.
Really.
I mean, not to say that I thought you were in any way going to be like mediocre, but I didn't expect you to be like so great. Like it really was such a lovely show. Yeah. I think we got time for one more. We'll do two more, yeah?
What do you think is the greatest life lesson you
The
learned?
greatest life lesson truly that I've learned is that joy and anger go hand in hand. And a lot of people will try to separate you from your anger by telling you to be joyful. But a lot of times love comes through both of those things. Love shows itself as joy, and love shows itself as anger. There is righteous anger, and there is deep righteous joy, and both of them are valuable. And when they check each other, when you find balance, they take care of you. If you get lopsided and you're only looking for joy, you will not find it. If you are only looking to feel anger, you will find it and it will hurt you. If you can balance the two, you will feel a real completeness of self.
And I think, first of all, yes, thank you. And I think for me, one of the big things would be like, in those moments where you want to isolate and feel separate because things are scary or bad, those are exactly the moments that you need to lean into community. And community can mean so many things. It's like almost like the rings of a tree. There's so much community. I think there's community. When you go through something hard, or when people are kind of maybe out to make you feel small, you can become alienated from the people around you in your community and from the people closest to you, your interpersonal relationships, and you can become alienated from yourself. And so in the moment, like, you can feel like your connection, your relationship to self is alienated, right? And so in those moments where you feel the most alienated and we want to like hide and go away and not have anyone see us and feel misunderstood, those are the moments where we have to reconnect with self, remember who we are, reconnect with the people that we know are safe and love us, and then reconnect after that with like the other affinity groups around us. Like if there are people that you recognize that are like, you know, maybe going through something that you're going through, connecting to that community and being like, we're strong together, and fucking like find the joy inside of the community of self and the people around you, and then that strength and joy and righteous anger is going to become really active, and you can find yourself again.
I'm going to tell on you for person. Yeah, one more.
Okay, well, I'm not sure if I'm the only one thinking this, but like, what advice do you give to like, you know, get started basically? Because I have a passion for like just acting or just like being able to be on stage and do what I want to do, like control over it and just, you know, bring happiness, joy, and sadness to an audience, you know. And I feel like it's a cool way, you know, as like, you know, earning a lot of money or just like as a side hustle, you know. So
because I think we had different ways that we got into this thing. Local theater, like do the plays at your school, do the plays at if y'all choose to go to college, do them at your college, but do local theater, like meet other actors in your industry, like meet other people that are on the same level with you, do a bunch of shows that don't pay you a bunch just because you love it. Like when I was doing improv, I was doing 8 to 10 shows a week when I first started, and none of them were paid. And then all of a sudden, because I put in that time at these local theaters, I was doing 8 shows a week and all of them were paid. And now I'm doing 1 episode a month and I'm getting paid. You know what I mean? It is you get out in this industry what you put in. Mm-hmm. That is honest to God truth. And another part of this that is super important is go in there with you know yourself. Don't try to deliver anything that you've seen on TV. You know yourself. You are the thing. You are the thing that the industry doesn't have yet. That's unbelievable. They have not found you yet. So you are valuable.
oh my God.